Hello everybody, this is Ango from Destination Pro Wrestling, and today we have a major update on the AEW video game. Guys, I'm super excited about this one. We have a new look to the videos, and I can't wait to get the ball rolling on some daily uploads. Alright guys, we have a lot to talk about, but first, if you guys want to help Destination Pro Wrestling become one of the biggest pro wrestling channels on YouTube, I highly encourage you guys click that subscribe button. Make sure you guys click that like button and check out the rest of the videos on this channel where you can find some of the latest news, rumors, and opinions on everything happening in pro wrestling today. And don't forget, guys, you could join DPW Plus, a membership program where you guys contribute to the channel and the growth of this channel and get some cool rewards in the process. Now, with that being said, guys, we now have a huge update on the AEW video game, and quite honestly, I think this is pretty big news because we have been waiting for a very, very long time. And by the sounds of it, on social media, other content creators are getting very excited as well. As you guys know, WWE Battlegrounds is slated to release this week. I plan on bringing some live streams and gameplays to this channel, mainly because I just miss playing video games. I think everybody knows with the pandemic, life has been pretty crazy, and lately, after a long day's worth of work, I've actually been turning on the PlayStation, going on Twitch, all of that good stuff, just for a little bit of fun as I prepare to relaunch this channel and get the momentum going yet again. But of course, with WWE Battlegrounds coming out, you know, everybody wants to get excited about an AEW video game, and it looks like we have some news. According to Fightful.com, we now know that there has been an official trademark in place. It is something that is being set by AEW. They filed for 2 new trademarks for the AEW video game, and I will get to the name of the video game in just a second. But I also want to be very clear because I think there's been a lot of anticipation about this video game. We've been covering all of the news on the AEW video game on this channel. I think there's been a lot of anticipation with this game taking a very, very nice historical influence from WWF No Mercy. And as you guys remember, I've said this multiple times on the channel, that happens to be one of my favorite pro wrestling games. It was just something so special at the time when we had it, and you just didn't know how special it was until you played 6 or 7 variations of WWE 2K games or whatever it's been at this point. WWE 2K has kind of fallen apart, and we saw that with WWE 2K20, and of course now, you know, we started getting excited because AEW, immediately after launching, they definitely sparked a lot of conversation when it came to their own video game. And quite honestly, I don't know if this news is going to be perceived positively by many because just by the name of the title, it doesn't seem like we're getting the video game that we've all anticipated. In fact, I would like to think that this game may be more of a mobile game. But of course, with AEW being a new promotion, you know, we just don't know what kind of audience will be purchasing an AEW video game. They're starting to crack 1 million viewers again weekly on Dynamite, but one of the biggest issues with AEW is that they still don't have that mainstream appeal that WWE has. And even if you don't watch WWE, people still buy the video game. And maybe this year that may not be the case because of WWE 2K20's failure. In fact, I hate being critical of WWE and 2K, but their partnership for a long time just seemed to be a very big mess. So when it comes to AEW's video game, patience is definitely important. So, with that being said, should we be excited by today's news? Yes. I think a lot of times people are, you know, I think especially with AEW, let's just make this clear. I think there's been a lot of things that have been overhyped about AEW. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys can know that especially during the pandemic, I've probably been the most critical of AEW. Despite the fact that I've kind of taken a step back from YouTube for a little bit, I was still tuning in and I just wasn't that happy. So with AEW, things tend to get overhyped. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be excited about an AEW video game, because at the end of the day, it is an alternative to what we have, especially in the pro wrestling video game market. There's just simply not that much competition. We know that Virtual Basement is coming out with the Wrestle Code, but I even have some reservations with that title as well. But nonetheless, an AEW video game will attract a very hardcore audience. In fact, based on AEW size, I'm not sure if we should be expecting a full-fledged video game at this point. But now that we know that there is a trademark in place for a video game title, which I will get to in a second, I promise. But now that we know this information, it sounds like AEW might be putting out something pretty much just to put something out. And that is why I believe this will be a mobile game. I think with iOS and Android becoming very, very popular, especially within the mobile games, the community, there is a lot of games that you can purchase or download for free with advertising. And because we know this thing exists, right, with mobile gaming, it sounds like until AEW can get the No Mercy influence, right? Until we know that comes to life, because that's kind of what they've talked about before. If they can get that engine, if they could revive it or build it from the ground up or whatever it takes to get that kind of video game going, I think it's going to take time. So I think the idea of a mobile game is a cool way to basically do two things. One, have some sort of video game title out there for your community, for your fans, right? It gives your viewers and your audience something to do while also maintaining engagement with that brand. But also, too, I think it sends out a feeler. I think AEW releasing a mobile game makes a lot of sense because it's going to gauge the interest of which consumers and which demographics may be interested in actually playing a full-fledged AEW video game. We don't have any announcement in terms of the partnership that this company may have. We don't have any news on developers or anything like that. But we now know that the AEW video game that will be coming soon at some point will be called All Elite Wrestling Elite General Manager, or the other trademark that was placed was All Elite Wrestling Elite GM. To me, what it sounds like is a mobile game. Just a prediction here. I think it's going to be a mobile game where you could basically kind of have like a mobile iOS, Android version of GM mode from WWE video games. The ability to book your own shows, sign your own roster members, things like that. I don't think we're going to be seeing a game that's heavily focused on gameplay. Just like WWE Supercard is not based so much on gameplay. I think it's based on obviously a lot more than that with cards and stuff like that. I can see AEW taking the same approach. And quite honestly, again, I think it's a smart business move. It's not the news that we've all hoped for, but until we get that game that we all desire, I think this is a good move for AEW. Now, me personally, I am very interested to see what steps are taken next. When do we get a formal announcement? All of these little small details about a video game, I think these things are important. But also, I want to make note, a general manager type game, I think, does need some sort of large roster to be in the game, and AEW's roster versus WWE's is very, very small. So I do have some reservations here. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe this is a PC game that'll go on Steam and PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, whatever it may be. I don't know. We don't know for sure. But the prediction that I'm making here is it sounds like it's more than likely going to be a mobile game. And again, I do not have a problem with that. This is Destination Pro Wrestling. My name is Ango. I'll be bringing you guys more updates along the way. Stay tuned and make sure you guys click that subscribe button and all that good stuff. And don't forget, guys, DPW Plus starting at $1 a month. Check it out. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.